All right, here we go. Here's another Hyuk game, this time against a Terran player, once again from Moon and Stars. And we're following Hyuk, of course, to see how, or if at least, he is going to destroy everyone in 2009. He still has a chance to. I mean, there's still, I think almost one complete Star League left. And he could certainly start destroying everyone. I think the finals will be January or February next year if he gets into the OSL or MSL. But, you know, with this 8-game winning streak that he had until the last one, certainly it's very possible. And this is played just one day later on September 18th. Once again, SKT1 and Woonjin playing against each other. This time, slightly different name. I think it's called a team pro league team match or something. And really is not exactly the most important things. It's the, actually... It is the team evaluation, the OGN preseason team evaluation, whatever the heck that means. But Hyuk is going to be playing on Destination. That's all that matters. He's playing against Ganzi, who is not a very exciting or good Terran player. He is only about 30-something percent. Hyuk has just done an extractor trick, interesting enough, for that 10th drone. Generally, you don't see that, by the way. I'm not sure about the economy of doing that, so... Oh, look at that! Team Liquid.net says Hyuk him up. Wow, that guy is awesome. That is the man. And it seems like, you know, among the foreign fans, there have been a lot of crazy new fans for Hyuk. I just wonder, did people start mentioning Hyuk after I started doing commentaries, or was he always a star? You know, especially with his name. I don't know, you know, because I did that commentary like a year ago when he, you know, played against Pure, and that's the first time I ever used, he's a Hyuk, oh, he's Hyuking himself right now, and then since then, you know, it's caught on among a lot of people, and certainly there's a good reason for it to be catching on recently. Anyway, it looks like Hyuk is going to be going for a, I think it's a standard 12 hatch. It's just interesting he did that drone extractor trick. It gives you a 10th drone, however, it does cost you some mining time from that drone that was moved to the extractor, and does cost you a fourth of that extractor's cost in non-refund. But I'm not sure. You know, I think it was calculated a long time ago to be inefficient, but maybe on certain maps it is efficient. Doesn't really matter. It won't make a difference either way, really. And we're going to see the spawning pool next. And there's the gas. So it's going to be a it's going to be a 2-hatch lair build, just like last game, where I guess was played a day before, but it doesn't really matter. Ganzi might prove to be a much easier opponent, though. Piano did have above 50% record, and Ganzi is way below it. He's going for gas early, which is standard on Destination. He's going to be going for that mech build. And we'll see what he can do with it. I mean, a bad mech build, I feel, is worse than a bad medic marine build. Because medic marine builds don't require too much creativity, to be honest. They require just following the build order and having very good mechanical skills with your M&M and with your timing for everything, with your build order, of course. Just having a perfect build order, and it's pretty damn powerful. I mean, there's certain timings that you can use for an attack that are just very powerful. I mean, usually you don't even have to be as brave as Piano was last game, which was insane, his timing. You just have to be fairly standard, and you can win a game against Zerg by being relatively defensive in the beginning, and then playing on with an economy game. Whereas really, you gotta react properly to the Zerg, and you got to surprise him basically when you're going for any kind of tech build. Now, Ganzi's going for it anyway. He scouted the 2-hatch lair, and we'll see which variation he does of it. He's got a machine shop and a starport, so possibly vulture drops, in fact. It's going to be vulture drops. That's a pretty daring move, in fact. Of course, it was popularized by Fantasy and a little bit by Lita. Fantasy of SKT1 also. Hyuk this time getting an earlier sunken colony. He knows, I think, there's vultures, possibility of vultures, so he's going to do that. Last game, man, that late sunken was just late by a tiny amount, and that cost him the game pretty much. When those just 5 or 6 medic marines and 2 firebats got through. I mean, basically it was like 5 attacking units and a medic. That was it. It's going to be actually a 1 factory into starport into expansion build, so it's not going to be as hardcore of a fantasy build as Fantasy's is, or Fantasy's old fantasy build. I mean, the old one, of course, had Valkyries and stuff. This one looks like, so this is a weird build from Ganzi. He's actually building a Wraith at the present moment. I don't think that's a great counter, though, against Mutalisks. Especially 2-hatch Mutalisks. 3-hatch, it might kill off some Overlords in time to make it worth it, but 3-hatch, I mean 2-hatch, it's really not going to stay in the air very long, and he really needs to get some anti-air through Goliaths if he's going to do this, or cloak rates. Oh, look at this, though. Hyuk actually has a Hydralisk dead. That should make the Wraiths even less useful. Although, ooh, what's this? He does not have a Spire yet? Is he going to go for a Hydralisk build of some sort? A Lurker first build? That would be very interesting. I think it would also be very bad because there's now mines everywhere. I've never heard of a Lurker rush against this kind of mech build because it just doesn't work. But who knows? Anything is possible. With Hyuk playing, certainly, including horrible amounts of mistakes and also horrible amounts of genius. I guess it's not horrible, but just ridiculous amounts of genius. What is going on? Hyuk is actually just going for Hydras right now, so far as you can see, and he's putting down a third hatchery. So perhaps he is going to go for Lurkers first? Maybe he's going to go for... I mean, it doesn't make sense for you to go early lair if you don't go for some tech to go along with your Hydralisks. You know, if you don't go for Lurkers. If you're just going to get mass Hydralisks, you usually build 3 hatcheries first and get the speed and range first. Okay, it's actually for Overlords. Speed. So this could be for a drop build here, in fact. That would be fascinating to watch, actually. I think that would be really cool.